Okay, here we are out on the bank on a crisp February morning, and I want to introduce to you the new Uni Spider, SP Uni Spider. There's two bivvies in this range. They're the brainchild of Martin Locke. He's been working on them for the last couple of years. There's loads of little details I want to run through with you, but this is the SP in its basic form. So, as I said, this is the SP version. We've upgraded the material. This is the best material solar I've ever put on a bivvy. This is the Solartech D material. It's a blackout material, so when you've got the door shut up in there, you get no ambient light coming through at all. It's fully waterproof, fully breathable. It's really, really nice material. Okay, the SP has the stainless effect spreader block up here, which is a new design. You'll notice that there's a little hole in the front there. That's actually for the extended section, which I'll show you a little bit later. Very rigid, very durable. The SP also has 4 of these natty little magnetic rod holders, 2 on each side, which come in handy. You know what it's like, you get a really windy day, you've got a couple of rods propped up against the bivvy, big gust comes through and away they go, but you can actually get 3 rods and your utility rod all nailed down nice and tight on the side of the bivvy in big winds. Okay, the SP also has 4 large vents in the back, which will give you a nice airflow in the summer. But quite unusually, you can actually open and close them if you need to from the inside as well. So if you're in there and the weather does blow in, you can just lean out and zip them down from the inside, which is a nice little touch. Okay, now we're around the back and you can see over here we have the vents fully open, which is a lovely little touch. When it warms up, sort of late spring, early summer, I do like to sleep outside as much as possible, just under the stars. Not always possible if you're anywhere near willow trees. In the spring, they drip like mad. So this is a lovely little thing. All 4 vents open. It's sort of outdoors, indoors, if you like. You've got something over your head, but you've still got that airflow going through. If you come around to this is the same vent, but I've left the mozzie in place there. So obviously if you've got all 4 of them down and a mozzie on the front, you're mosquito proof, hence the name. So while we're around the back here, I just want to show you what's probably my favourite part of the bivvy is this extra 5th rib at the back. And what that does is it changes the footprint, the actual profile of the bivvy. And for a sort of old school angler like myself, always in the habit of storing everything over the back of the bed, including the dog sometimes, just by the addition of that extra rib, it gives you a huge storage area at the back behind the bed, which, like I say, comes in very handy for me and for my dog. Okay, putting them up couldn't be simpler. Just click the poles together, 1 joint on each, and then just simply fan it round, and then the tension bars are already attached. And then push that out and pop that little socket on the end. Same with the other one. And she's up. Little Velcro holders for the bars. And there's your little tension straps, which you just pull out and they pop under there and Velcro into position. And that just tensions up the top of the bivvy, lovely. Right, another little detail that I really like is in the zipping ground sheet. I've been using zipping ground sheets for a little while now and I love them because it stops any sort of wind, wet, anything coming in from below. Really makes a difference in the winter. But this one zips in 2 sections rather than 1 complete zip. It's got 2 zips, which means you can fold it over, dirty side up, zip 1 half in, and then move around to the other side and zip the other half, so you're not trampling all over your own ground sheet. Nice and simple, and it zips up nice and high as well around the bivvy, which really does help. Keeps the zip out of the mud, and like I say, keeps all the wind and rain on the outside, and you can just work your way round and out the bivvy and get back to the door. Job's good. Lovely job. Also at the front here of the ground sheet, if you're set up in a swamp or you've got anything coming in from the front, bit of wind, bit of wet, little tiny toggle, Just toggle that in there, pull that through, and that forms a little gutter at the front. Okay, right, I put the front panel in now. The front panel has all your normal options. There's a mosquito panel behind there. You can have it rolled up, you can have it letterbox down, you can have it rolled across to the side. You know, standard sort of 3 or 4 options on that. And I will point out that the bivvy itself is what we call a modular system. So when you purchase the bivvy, you get the bivvy itself, and then you add on either this door, the zipping ground sheets. There's also a magnetic mosquito door. And the idea behind that is you get the bivvy and you add the bits you need and don't end up with the bits that you don't need. But what does come with the bivvy are these storm poles. And I'd just like to show you a little design on the end of this storm pole that I really like. Rather than screwing in, like a lot of them do, has a little clip on the end there, just snaps in, up, and done to tension the front of the bivvy. Nice and simple. Okay, and sitting underneath the SP bivvy in the range, we have the SW bivvy, which is southwesterly bivvy. Very similar, same basic frame and shape as the SP, but it has a lighter weight material. It's got the nylon spreader block as opposed to the stainless effect on the other one. The ground sheet is another point of difference. On this bivvy it clips in rather than zips in, but most of the other features are the same. The rod straps, retaining straps, on here you have 2 Velcro, whereas on the other bivvy you have 4 magnetic. But all in all, still a very, very good product, very sturdy, and like I say, with most of the features of the SP. Right, so we're getting on to the accessories, which fit onto both bivvies, and there are 3 separate options, depending on what you prefer. And I showed you earlier the hole in the spreader block at the top, and that's to take the support pole for this, which is the peak cap here. You have 5 fittings that come with it that you put onto the poles, and once they're on the poles you can just leave them on the poles. You haven't got to take them on and off, and therefore there's Velcro tension straps, and it quite simply plugs in 2 holes at the front, throw it over, walk round and nip up the Velcro tensioners, and that gives you an extra thermal layer on the top and gives you a peak obviously at the front for your rainfall, keep it away from falling in the bivvy or on your feet or in your cooking or whatever. So that's the first of the 3 options. Right, now we're getting serious. We got to the big boys accessories. This is the 1.2 metre full overwrap extension. Covers the whole bivvy and obviously 1.2 metres full. There's 2 of these, one is 0.5 metre and this one is the 1.2. The 1.2 has the 2 side doors, the 0.5 doesn't. It's got stabilising bars, tensioning bars in the side, so it is absolutely rock solid. Now obviously this sort of setup for your long stays, your French trips, you know, you and your mate sat out here, you've got your cooking area, you can have your cool box, a few beers if the weather's not all that, you've got plenty of cover. If it does get warm, up with the side doors, which also have mosquito panels in. So you've got everything you need really. It is the fully portable hotel system. Just, you know, you're going away for a week's holiday, it's all here.